You can't do that to people and start the countdown again. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. Welcome to The Real Network and the Gareth Cliff Show. Today's a good day. I'll tell you why. Because I get to sit with somebody who I love to spend time with. I get to sit with someone who makes me laugh and who has also decided to check out of the world. So she's not going to be boring us with like her political analysis, which, I mean, frankly, you kick over a rock and some fucking political analyst creeps out from under it. And they all look the same. Scaly skin, many legs, glasses, appear on TV. Well, I think that the ANC and the DA and the GNU is not going to last. That's a lot of acronyms for a fucking snake. Anyway, here is someone who won't do that at all. Tumi Morake. Look at this.
Hello, Hazard.
How are you?
I'm good. You know, Gareth, I realized you and I have a very special relationship where men usually trying to get you into bed. You're always getting me out of bed. Like it's
You're not the first one. Some of my exes might say that too. Kick me out of bed.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you American? Are you South African? What's the story?
I'm so South African. It's embarrassing, man. Like I'm sure when you get to that 10-year mark and then you must decide, do I want to try and be a citizen? These guys are gonna be like, don't even try. You haven't even been around long enough. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not gelling with the States, man. Like,
but I thought of any of us, like you would do it.
I thought so too. Actually,
you were getting in there. I mean,
I'm
you
like,
were living there.
Oh my gosh, I'm like so American.
No, but you were. I mean, you were living in it. You were doing American things.
Still am.
Going to the grocery store.
Still am. Oh my gosh, getting everything online.
Didn't you even develop some allergies?
Yeah,
like
I'm allergic
proper
to
American?
stuff now. I get like, oh my gosh, like the African dust in my eyes.
Oh my
god. But it's for me, it's still ironic. Like I think a lot of maybe people who make it don't talk about this, but I mean, I always get into trouble. They're like, yeah, you don't have to tell everybody the whole truth. But for me, I think the thing that still brings me home is what I earn in rands is still more than what I make in dollars right now.
Oh my God,
you
really?
know what I mean? Yeah, because maybe I'm going about it the wrong way. I don't know. I guess
your maths is not maths.
No, yeah, but also
but you're spending dollars, which is expensive.
I am spending dollars. Yeah. I don't know how to kiss ass, and I'm so clear about what I want to do that I'm just not willing to do other stuff. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
You needed to go to a Diddy party back in the day.
Bruh,
that's what. Huh?
I'd be in there.
You would be in there,
man. Timing, ne?
I think it was Warris who he retweeted something this morning that I saw just before I started the show. By the way, if I sound like shit, that's because I think I'm sick, but I don't know what it is. I'm just going to carry on.
It's not a babalas.
No. It's like a like a coffee langy thing.
Is it? Whatever you're holding in, release it.
It's pleurisy.
Yeah, okay.
Qatar.
It's very, very early for words like pleurisy, bruh.
Well, I don't know what it is. I'm not a doctor.
Like easy on the English.
But we were talking about what's this thing?
Which one? Allergies.
Yeah, no, not allergies. No, man, just before Christ. Do you see how stupid we are? Like, it takes us 2 seconds to move on. We're like, oh, what are we
making money in America?
We were just talking. No, it wasn't even that.
Before we even went on air.
No.
Shoot, because I was going to say that was very personal.
Guys, what were we just saying before I said, forgive the way I sound? Oh, yeah, Warris tweeted this thing this morning of this girl, like, walking out of a house, holding her ass and going, I'm never doing that again. And he put there like going to Diddy's house, ? But I'm not so disturbed about the girls. It's the young boys that really disturb me about that story.
Yeah. It messed with me because at a certain point, and judge me if you will, I was defending Diddy. Context. I was going consenting adults. If it's freaky, deaky, sex parties, whatever, I don't care. That's not a reason to cancel someone. Whatever, let them do their thing.
I know, but you were also a big supporter of Michael Jackson the whole way through.
Calm down. Calm down.
Oh, come on, Tumi. I know you were supporting me.
And I still think
I love the children.
I just think he was too weird to be doing what they said he was doing. You have to be a certain level of weird for other things to just not be a thing. Anyway,
okay, all right. Okay.
But I was defending it going, consenting adults do freaky deaky shit.
Sure.
And it doesn't justify canceling someone. I was like, so you're going to cancel him because he likes bums? Like, why?
And you know what?
Yeah.
like, I agree with you, because there are so many people in this country who live these conservative, like, to the world, they're these perfect people, right? Behind closed doors, they are doing nasty things. Nasty. They're swinging from the chandelier in a Spider-Man outfit with their genitals hanging out.
Hey!
They are.
That's my kind of party.
I'll tell you what, and you've heard about, like, in these, like, fancy estates where you've got the couples that throw their car keys into like a dish, and then they end up with other husbands.
Or they leave the garage a little bit open
the garage
so that the neighbors know.
Yeah. We've all heard these stories. So we mustn't think it's just these celebrities who do this. And those people are freaky.
They're very freaky.
Right? So you probably were right in the beginning.
And then when that stuff starts emerging, then you go, now I'm sorry. I can't defend you anymore.
I feel so sorry for these kids like Usher and Justin Bieber. I mean, like, these are little kids, and they were ruined. They were just completely ruined by these maniacs.
But Bieber found Jesus, ne?
Yeah, but you can see he's broken.
Yeah.
Right? I tell you what, I think fame for kids is a very bad thing.
No, it's very dangerous.
And it's especially dangerous if you've got, like, P. Diddy, like, making you sit on his hand.
That is hilarious. I think fame is dangerous for kids. Like, if you leave a packet of sweets and you go, it's for the whole week.
They'll eat them all in one.
After 10 minutes, you're like, so don't give too much, man.
Estate swinger messages are funny, says Bitcoin Bot. So I live in an estate, but it's too small, and I don't think there are enough freaky people in there for any of that to happen.
But also your neighbors should be hard.
No, but I've heard that it's certain ones, like it's Danefern and it's Silver Lakes. Yeah. And there's certain things that these people do that make it clear that that's what they're into.
Yeah.
But you know what? Again, if it's consenting adults, this is how they live. The kids are left home because they finished varsity, they got jobs. And these people are like, well, I don't want to have sex with you anymore. Maybe Sunny from the next door house, or Nompumelelo from the house down the road, or...
Then the kids come to visit, try to go to their old rooms, and there's 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Why is Auntie Nompumelelo's weave in my bedroom?
Oh, man.
What's Daddy been doing there? Because I found his aftershave and Auntie Nompumelo's wig.
Meanwhile, it was Mommy and Auntie Pumelelo, not Daddy.
Even better than that.
They're thick plottins.
Yes. But okay, like you said, you don't want to kiss ass in America, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Those people are so good at schmoozing, hey?
They are. Hey, but I'm learning a new other level of politics between African Americans and African Africans, where there's this perception of us being these privileged blacks when we arrive. Because I was like, guys, we're on the same side. Why do I feel like you are?
No, but you know why?
Why?
Like, that's a very real thing, what you're talking about. Yeah. Very real thing. It's the Nigerians. And I'll tell you why they're doing so well in America.
They are.
Nigerians are in New York, in Miami, in Washington, in California, all over California, because Nigerians have this work ethic, right? They will do whatever it takes to get the job done or to get the job.
Yeah. But and interestingly enough, they're the guys who've actually broken the ceiling for me in terms of earnings as well.
Yeah.
Because I was staying in that space with, the American Americans and the African Americans, and it was you can feel the block.
The average Nigerian American earns more than the average white American, average, but just less than the average Asian American.
So we must hack the Asians now.
Well, no, I mean, it's just amazing to me that this undermines that whole narrative that, like, it's got something to do with your race. Like, a lot of people have been conditioned from a young age by people who are on the grift. These politicians, these white people, frankly, who are talking all the time about, like, DEI and all that shit.
Yeah.
They're on the take. Yeah. And then you have parents who are telling their kids, like, you're not going to succeed in this world because you're black. They talk about that conversation.
Yeah,
you have to have that conversation with your kid. Yeah. Nigerians don't. They come in, they're like, fuck you.
We are going to own. We are going.
You're gonna get in, you're gonna be in charge, you're gonna take control. And you're going to make the most of this thing. And then they go in and they just win. I love it.
You remind me of this old Nigerian dude who was saying, any place you go to in the world that doesn't have Nigerians is uninhabitable.
And Indians.
Really?
And Indians give.
Oh, yes.
Like Indians.
And they own it. I remember going to a Krispy Kreme And the guy there who served me was Indian. So he heard my accent. He was asking where I'm from. He started up a conversation like, yeah, this is his third one. I'm like, you sound like you're fresh off the boat. So how are you on your third Krispy Kreme store that you own, my guy?
But that's rare because most of the time, Indians are the best assimilators. Like wherever they go, they learn those accents.
Yeah.
They just assimilate straight into that culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a generalization, like a lot of things, source of a lot of humor, but it's mostly true. Like Indians, you put them in Canada, they become Canadians quicker than almost anyone else.
True. Well, the parents though don't. The older generation, I find, don't. But you only speak about that. I remember years ago being in Edinburgh, and I go to this store, and they sell tourist stuff. You know, that nonsense we buy just to prove we were there.
Like a fridge magnet of a guy in a kilt.
Huge place, right? Does this Chinese dude not walk out in a kilt? And then he speaks in a Scottish accent. I had to walk out of the store because I was dead. Yo, I had to leave the store, bruh.
So I had this big argument. Well, it wasn't a big argument. Ruda Landman was here on Friday.
Yeah.
And she did that thing that people that of her generation think is a brave thing, where she like criticized me for doing an accent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of moved on, but I said to her, it's actually just, as long as you're not trying to be mean,
Yeah.
as long as you're not mocking someone,
Yeah.
then an accent just makes things funnier. Like what you're just saying now, if I had to see a Chinese guy doing a Scottish accent in a kilt, I'm gonna crack the fuck up. I don't care who sees it or who knows it, right?
It messes with you, right? Because you arrive with an image. And
that's gonna be so funny.
Oh, that messed with me so bad. So bad.
Did you see how Gareth said garage? Ruda is going to call in and cuck him out garage. Now you see this. Listen,
did you say garage?
This garage. This comment section is unhinged.
I'm scared of them. I won't lie. I'm scared
you remember. You used to.
Yeah.
Tumi used to, for those of you who are new to this, Tumi used to make regular appearances. She had her own show on Cliff Central before she became wildly famous and had her own radio show. I mean, you did.
I should never have broken up with you.
No, but we had so much fun.
You're like that ex, though. You're like that ex. You're like, yeah, it was so good. It was great. And then she went to go eat poo-poo. Anyway, that was a good time.
But you didn't. You went on to great things.
Yeah.
You went on to moving to America. You went on to having your own radio show, TV show. You were doing all the things.
I really was, though.
You were kicking ass and taking numbers. And by the way, let me just give her credit because she deserves this. She is like among the top 5 comedians in this country, without a doubt, right? She's a mom of like how many offspring?
I'm on 3.
Yes,
rumors say 9. I'm on 3. I'm on 3.
I remember you had that fucking horrible car accident at the time. You got out of that unscathed, but like just. and you've managed to like have one foot here and one foot there, and work on both sides. I mean, it's like that is. There are people who say I'm bored or I feel so stuck, and then there are people like you who just do. I love that.
Yeah, as long as there's breath in your body, man, you should give yourself a chance, but just keep trying. Like, I went through that whole episode of just doubting myself. And look, I'm dead. It's been so hard, pandemic. And then,
everyone did, though.
Bruh. But I sat back and I went, Tooms, Tab, during this pandemic, you were chowing your money and you were actually making money. I made more in 2020 than I'd made in 2019.
Wow.
And I'm not doing as much of what I used to do. And I used to feel like, oh my gosh, I became irrelevant. And then I go, oh, wait, no, but I just came back from Finland. Oh, I just came back from New York. Oh, I was just in Tanzania. Oh, and these are all places I've been working in.
When people say they're worried about relevance, does that bother you? Because you've been in the entertainment business for a while.
Yeah.
Like I stopped caring about whether people still say to me occasionally on social media, and I don't really read the comments, but occasionally you see them. It's like, oh, he's irrelevant. And they think they're insulting me. But I'm like, yes.
Yeah, you mustn't be relevant. It's like fashionable.
No, but you want to be as irrelevant as possible because the kind of people who are, in inverted commas, relevant now are having a very hard time.
And you get boxed. Like now, as soon as you're relevant, now you must commit to the relevance. And for me, I think relevance for me just means I want to still be able to walk into a room and they go, we want her.
Yeah.
So that was where my concern was, because I like making corporate money. It's easy.
But that's
money.
like commercial relevance.
So that's commercial relevance. Outside of that, man, even when I was at my peak, I did not feel like I fitted into this nonsense. And I'm glad. I was like, okay, Tooms, you don't fit in. You're not part of any clique. No one's ever put you in a clique. That's freaking dope. That means you cannot fit into anyone's box. Nobody knows how to box you. And I dig that. I dig that I can walk into a space and not be sure when people go, Tumi Morake. Are they going Tumi Morake, the comedian, Tumi Morake, the host, Tumi Morake, the radio person, Tumi Morake, the actress? I wait for them to continue. Then I know what they're talking about.
I left out the actress part.
My friend.
I mean, my God.
Internationally renowned.
Yes,
please,
sus.
let's respect me. Put some respect on this name.
You were in like 4 movies?
Eish, my friend. I do all of.
Yeah.
Yeah, some, I mean, I wouldn't say out loud what they were, but,
Well, I mean, there was that one about what was that the husband swap? There was something that...
Yeah.
It was good.
Okay, that was mid-pandemic. That was the first thing that opened. You liked
I liked it. It was funny as fuck. Only because you were...
things.
That's because I watched you.
Very strange things.
I'm like watching you. You're a very convincing actress, but I was watching it to see if any of the real you came through.
I don't know what to do with you. I literally... But yeah, you're right, when I wait to King. Just to finish off my CV, please, in case you've just arrived at Tumi Morake. There was a time I had to, refresh my CV, and I was like, guys, me have been on international TV. I was an alien. I was a whole alien. You know what I mean? Like, I've done stuff, man.
So basically, she's very much still in the market, but you're gonna have to pay top dollar, literally in dollars.
Literally, actually, yeah. The children, they must eat.
I don't know if you saw this. This is funny. I know you haven't been paying attention to politics, but someone sent me this clip last night of Kamala Harris in that 60 Minutes interview.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's the first interview she's done, proper interview, right?
What, since the debate or generally?
No, since like 2019. Okay?
Oh, so TV.
Yeah.
Because she did that nice cover.
No, this is a proper interview. And the host, 60 Minutes, Bill, I can't remember his surname. Anyway, he asks her about this gun because, she just casually revealed during the debate.
She's packing.
I've got a gun.
I've never been so happy in my life. It felt like a low-key threat.
A
low-key felt like, oh, by the way, Trump, I'm packing.
But
try me.
The question is, do you believe her?
Yes.
Okay, well, watch this and tell me if you still believe her.
What kind of gun do you own, and when and why did you get it?
I have a Glock, and I've had it for quite some time. And I mean, look, Bill, my background is in law enforcement. And so there you go.
Have you ever fired it?
Yes. Of course I have. At a shooting range. Yes, of course I have.
Yeah. That's like when, you remember when you were at school?
Yeah.
And your friend says to you, do you have this cool toy? And you're like, yes, I do. Of course I have.
Yeah.
And of course I've played with it. Yes. And it's my favorite one because it's green.
At that time, it's a metal thing.
If you ask someone if they have a gun.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you the gauge, or they don't say like, I got a 9mm,
yeah.
or I got a revolver, or I've got a pistol, or I've got a, but she goes with a make.
I got a Glock.
Because she's seen that on her security guys. I don't think she's telling the truth. I don't think Kamala would know which way to hold a gun. I'm just saying.
I think she owns one. I don't think she knows how to use it probably, or she did use it at the gun range just once to learn how.
All Americans own a gun.
Pretty much, because I remember
half of them don't know that they own a gun. They're in the kid's bedroom in their bedside table.
Because Griff lives in Atlanta, right? Yeah. And when we were catching up, he asked me if I own a gun, and I was like, "No, I don't own a gun." He was like, "Why not? You live in Atlanta. Does. You gotta be packing." and so he was explaining, because I didn't understand that nobody has fences. Nobody has fences. I just love the freedom, but I'm also like, why don't we have fences, guys? And he was like, you ain't about to step on nobody's yard.
By the way, I've got Griff's number on my phone, but it still says Griff or Dwayne or something because he put it in my phone. So I still don't know like which one. Look here.
So
here's the last message he sent me.
No, it's all good, man. I just had to they wanted me to shoot a 60-second commercial real quick. I handled it. I didn't know that was going to be the clip, but wouldn't it have been funny if I just cut it off as I wanted to shoot?
Yeah.
Straight after we talking about guns.
So I probably will get a gun.
While you're in America,
because
you
I don't
probably
need
have to.
apparently I don't need a license. Because you know
No.
what? In South Africa, I've never applied for a gun because I'm like, if you have to do some psych test, I'm probably gonna fail. So I'm not gonna bother. They're like, it's fine. In this state, as long as you keep your gun only within this state, you can carry it.
But
you just
the more
need a
crazy you
license
are, the more
if you
like-
wa- yeah, and then you only need a license if you're gonna leave the state. I'm like, so we're gonna be like for fun and J as long as we keep it within the state.
Do it.
My
Just do
friend.
it. Go to the
No.
range. You'll enjoy it. You might even bump into Kamala there.
Hey man, and be like, okay,
Hi.
come, let me show you how to hold
Hello.
your Glock.
Jimmy, how are you?
I want the baby brown, man. That's why I'm gonna be carrying baby brown so I can be cute about it.
So, you wanted to talk about Casper in your vest.
Yes. So
What happened here? I don't know anything about this.
so here's the thing. The reason I want to talk about that is there's something I don't understand. I know internationally there's a thing we have about celebrities and we must know what happens with them intimately, whatever, right? But there's also this thing where we all live our lives on social media. That's where we express. It's like if you didn't put it on Instagram, it never happened.
Mm.
So his baby mama put up a post speaking about it was her birthday. She's a lovely girl, by the way. Topic is wonderful. And she was talking about her birthday and that it slaps different. It's because she was celebrating life. She was celebrating her son's beating cancer, you know.
Oh,
yeah,
her son had cancer?
Yeah, their baby boy had
Oh
cancer.
my God.
Battled cancer
child.
for a while. But then she revealed that
That's
Casper
horrible.
had cheated on her while this child was battling cancer, like, you know, in those 2 years that they were going through all of this. And he eventually married the woman he had an affair with while all of this was happening. And so Casper responded to it with a video in which, you know, he takes responsibility, he holds himself accountable and says, you know, he actually would rather look at himself as an example to other men. And in that thing, I was just like, I'm feeling so uncomfortable watching this because I'm going, it's none of my business. Because in the chats, then this debate and this fight happens between bitter women who decide that this is my moment to attack my baby daddy who's trash, who's not supporting his child and disappeared when he had the child. Then there's everybody who's defending him and everything he could have been going through. And the whole time I'm going, but this is a very intimate conversation. Why are we even a part of it at all? And why are we going to pass judgment on everyone who was a player in this thing? You know what I mean? This chick posted this thing. She didn't name names. She just was saying this is what she's been going through. Anyone can argue, yeah, but I mean, did you have to put it that way? If it's happy birthday, you're happy to be alive. Whatever. Sharp. So I appreciate that you can't judge.
So
how
she didn't
people
name
deal
names,
with
but
things. She didn't name names, so
people
know.
put two and two
Yeah.
together. Okay.
But there was no sense of bitterness or anything. It was just a thing of this actually broke me and I'm whole again. So when he comes and apologizes and then it becomes now a time to now attack people, I just sat there going, who is setting up a bad, I don't know, habit or precedent? Because I feel like we live in the public eye, it's enough. Everything we do is already being scrutinized. Do we really need to open up our personal lives to the public that much? And is it really that important that we explain ourselves to the public? Because I was wondering if I was in that position and also with my own stuff, I know like, oh my gosh, there's so much about me that you're like, oh my God, if this thing gets out, I'm over. But I'm like, how am I over? I can still do my job and I didn't hurt anybody's child, right? But I go, are we not teaching people that our business truly is their business and that we will even find ourselves apologizing to them for stuff that isn't about them and it's about us?
That's complicated.
I didn't do it in the public domain. It's different if, Tumi Morake was the one found to be pumping in that see-through window and we all now know this is a family woman. Now we've seen her boning someone publicly. Then I owe a public apology
on government money.
on government money, dog. Like, I don't know. So the reason I just it hit me is because I was going, are we now giving people permission that much that we must put ourselves out like that to them? You understand? Especially if what happened behind closed doors. You feel me?
I remember I spoke to a consultant when we started doing radio shows. Someone that Rena, who you know well, introduced me to in America, a woman called Valerie Geller, who's incredible. She once said to me, I don't know if I've got this right or not, and maybe I've got it right some of the time and not others. She said there's a difference between personal and private.
Right.
She said you should always be willing to share personal things on your show, talk about them, your feelings, how you responded to stuff, how you could have been better,
Right.
where you might have hurt people, what you could have done wrong, what you could have done right, because that's opening up and being vulnerable and being real.
Right.
But private is when you name names. Private is when you drag other people into your story unwillingly. Private is when you share information that actually isn't anyone else's business.
Right.
And I've always kind of remembered that when stuff like this comes up, because I think it's nobody's business what Casper and his ex have been through.
Right.
It's nobody's business.
Yeah.
And it also isn't an excuse for you to bring all your trash and empty it on their lawn.
Emptied on the lawn.
You know?
Yeah.
And obviously you can be really callous about this and you can say, well, it's her fault because she shouldn't have spoken about this in the first place. But a lot of people really struggle with where that line between personal and private is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I mean, I feel sorry for both of them, right? From what you've
Yeah.
told me, I don't see a bad guy.
It's like, when do you catch a break, man? Because I just feel like I need to be able to catch a break. I need to be able to go home and be me. I can't go home and go, okay, now I can't even get up to shit because now I must go and explain it to the world in a way that the world is still going to judge how I
But
explain
you
it
don't,
to them.
first of all, you don't owe the world an explanation. You don't. Because who's the world? And second of all, you think they give a shit. They don't give a shit. They
They don't
move
give
on
a-
very quickly.
Yeah, so while you're answering, they're already on the next thing.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, "Guys, they just
You know,
sometimes naked."
The
You're
worst,
like, but I was
the
still
worst is
apologizing.
like when you see some celebrity, and it's fine. There's a different thing with politicians because they often use our money
Yeah,
and they drag the country into it,
Yeah.
right? So that's a different story. But if it's some celebrity that people are just gossiping about,
yeah.
like they don't owe you an explanation.
No, you jack.
They don't have to account for anything. They're not your moral arbiter. They're a fucking TV star or something.
Yeah, because I'm finding a lot of people going on these social media detoxes, and I'm like, guys, firstly, how have you allowed it to get so under your skin that you need a detox from it? It's either a business tool or it's a place where you just go.
Yeah,
and,
but you know, also like people overshare. We're living in the age, and again, you can blame media, you can blame social media, you can blame Oprah, you can blame whoever you want. But we live in an age now where people feel they have to let everything out there.
Yeah, but they let it out there. Then when it's me and you face to face, then you can't tell me nothing. You can't express yourself. You can't be honest with me. You can't tell me what you're going through. But you will vomit all over Instagram. Like,
Yeah, you see, that's wrong. I mean, obviously that's unhealthy. Forget
Right.
about whether there's a moral or ethical dimension
Right.
to it. It's just unhealthy.
yeah,
Like, who wants to live like that? Who wants
Right.
to be sharing your most intimate stuff with complete strangers? That just seems pathological.
right.
And by the way, like, do you think that anyone on the internet is giving you an honest, they care about you so much that you're going to get the wisdom you seek from some angry person on X? I'm absolutely sure that that's not the case.
Mm,
I mean, most people have to pay a psychologist to
Yeah.
listen to their shit. We just sometimes need to struggle through stuff on our own.
Yeah.
If you're going through a
Yeah.
hard breakup or you've got health issues or you've got money problems, sometimes just keep it to yourself and just man the fuck up.
yeah.
Don't share it with everybody.
Look, some people will argue I'm sharing so that if somebody else is going through it, they know it's not just them. But I still feel like
No
there's
one
still
asked
a
you
line.
to.
We need
What?
a
They're looking for you to
context.
set the example for them. First of all, who gave you that mandate? Who voted, we want this
Yeah.
person to represent us?
It's a tough
Bullshit.
one, because I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like people still don't realize that social media is real, in that those are real people. Because again, I go to it's the comments. For me, it's about the comments. It's about the people. You open yourself up to a twat who feels unseen in the world and is just gonna decide this is their moment to jump on your pain and drill it even more and make you regret that you ever even went on the thing.
We should have done that TV show that we spoke
you
about.
didn't want to listen. I
Do you
said,
remember?
Yeah, because I was like,
Dumi and I were going to do a TV show where we would go and find the trolls.
yes. And
we
I
would
was
go
like,
to their houses
"Ish, this
and
guy."
we'd pull them out of their basements
Yes.
and we'd put them in the glaring light of the cameras and say,
Proper.
now say what you were
Tell
going to
us.
say. Tell us again.
Yes.
You
Fetch
weakling.
them from work. Fetch them from work. Fetch them from. But some
Can
of
you
them
imagine?
don't even have data. They park there by the clinics where there's free internet, and then they are logging onto the clinic Wi-Fi. Now the clinic can't help you. Oh, our Wi-Fi is down. They don't know why. Because there you are, you dumbass, freaking stealing hospital government Wi-Fi here. People are irritating.
By the way, there was a big internet down yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Massive problem with like bandwidth, and people couldn't connect.
Oh,
and-
shucks. I thought it was me.
No, it was everybody.
I was out
apparently.
here.
Yeah.
I was crap talking my country. I was going, this third world internet nonsense.
No, it was a
And
problem.
Oh, okay.
So yesterday, and you were doing what all those people in the suburbs do, and they're like, "Oh my God, Africa's such a mess. You can't get internet."
Oh my gosh.
Listen, have you heard how not a peep now? All those people who complained nonstop about load shedding, they don't have anything to talk about.
They can complain about the internet going down.
Well, yesterday was a bit of a reprieve for them.
Yeah.
And just wait, because now they're talking about droughts. They're talking
Yes,
about,
day zero.
Yeah, day zero. So they're starting to talk about droughts now. Those people are going to find that to moan about. You
No,
watch.
but also as a country, can we pick a struggle? Can we stop looking? I do feel like even as a country, I'm sorry. I feel like even the people at the top go, I feel like the citizens are a little too docile right now. They're fine. It's too peaceful. What
we need to make them unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were like, oh, it's new. It's new government. New. We'll have new. Things will change with the new. And the new is like, let's shake them up a little bit. Let's see if they're still there.
Let's take something away.
Yeah. We gave them electricity. What else can we take away?
These people are too happy.
Yeah.
Take away their electricity,
Now
their
let's take away the
internet,
water.
their water.
Guys, water. So load shedding is something which has never really irritated me because I'm the silver linings person. Any excuse not to work, so I can say my internet was down, there was no internet. Anything that will force the kids to go to bed early. They can't be on the PlayStation. Now they have to find a brick and make a plan. Water.
That's
I
a
take it
big
personally.
problem.
For me, I'm one of those guys like, guys, I'm regular, not to overshare. I'm regular. The minute they say there's no water, I'm like, we need to discuss this for 5 marks because I have about 3 important trips, long distance calls of nature that need to happen in this time. So when you tell me there's no water, what must can happen? Then they tell you, no, we have a tanker, you can come and collect water. Hold on. Hold on. Yo, Gareth, the water, I take it personally. That one, it's personal for me. No, it's personal. Like,
So I know people who, when they've had water problems in Joburg, they'll go to the gym to shower and to shit, obviously.
I can't shit in public space. I can't shit in public toilets. It's hard.
I can't either.
I must
I'm going to be in
Airbnb.
big trouble.
Bro, I have to check which area has water and try an Airbnb there. Because I can't. It's a number 2. In fact, just to put it out there, people who poop in public toilets are very selfish. You are
Terrible
very
people.
freaking selfish. Unless it's a health issue and you
Yeah.
absolutely must. You
Agreed.
are so selfish. Because I must first deal with a warm toilet seat. Then I must deal with the fact that I am picking up through particles what was happening.
No,
with
I'm
you.
totally with you. You're speaking my language.
Selfish.
I also don't even understand, and this is why I've got to sign up in my guest bathroom at home.
Yeah.
Strictly no pooing. Because
Really? You have that?
because people are savage. They will arrive at your house for a coffee, and they'll go and take a 10-minute pilgrimage. It's disgusting.
I'm sorry.
have a sign.
If you're sleeping over, it's fine. But
Yeah,
that
but then
sign is important.
Then if you're sleeping over, you've got a room
So you've got
with
your
your
own
bathroom.
toilet.
Right. You're not going
But
to use
get
the
it.
one downstairs. So once I had this party for Christmas, I had a whole bunch of my friends there. Someone went and clogged the fucking thing up.
Oh.
Talk about season's
Yeah,
greetings.
but what were you serving them? What were you serving? What did you cook?
No.
This sounds like a
This
you-ish.
this was a few hours into the day. We were having a supper that night, so I hadn't even given them anything yet. So disgusting.
Oh wow! Well, I have to be honest. I made an exception when remember when we had the droughts the first time where we were now using dry shampoos and what. I actually had, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have the number of people living in a house as we do, I was like, that concept.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like now when people are
Start smelling
building
like Park
houses.
Station.
Yes, as people when they build houses now, we have to kind of build also accommodating camping style living. Like let's go back to digging long drops and having borehole water and I don't know. I'm at a point where I'm like, we can't complain. We need solutions, and I feel like there has to be a day where the entire country goes, okay, you guys want to mess with us? When this thing happens, everyone who lives within the vicinity of these ministers and councillors must all go to their yards to bath, poop, charge phones, charge
It'll
vibrators.
get better quickly, hey?
Very quickly, my friend. Let's all go there. You
I
know what I
agree.
mean? But on a serious note, as a matter of national importance, I need you to know that some of us are at an age where you cannot mess with our relationship with the toilet.
And being regular is very
And
important
it's
to you.
at our age. Yeah, you don't want to mess. The colon must be clean. Prostate must not have pressure. You are messing with us. I'm just putting it out there. If you care about us, make a plan.
Oh man. All right. So don't set us up for a thing here because I don't want us to be talking about this for 6 months.
No, please, let's fix it. As a country,
Yeah.
I believe in us. There's nothing we can't.
We need to know who the Minister of Water and Sanitation is and make sure that they are on top of things.
Hey, the Minister of Energy and Water is still the guy with the patek.
No, energy's Gwed.
Oh, it's great.
Who's got the patek?
You
Who?
didn't? Eh?
No, tell me.
No, it's old news, man. Last year, when there's that new guy who came in to be the Minister of Energy.
Sputla,
That
Ramakgopa.
yeah, I remember going by
Sputla.
that watch is not. That's not the Rolex.
That's
one.
very expensive.
No, hey, my friend. So I was
That's
like,
like 3 cars worth of watch.
but I was like, you arrived with it. So let's see what you can do. For me, it's if he had bought it after we had put him on, I'd be very angry. I was like, but he arrived with it. Let's see. And he made a difference. Bless his heart.
Well, I haven't given credit to him on the show, but I have on social media. But Teto Nyati, who's taken over at Eskom,
Yeah.
seems to be doing an excellent job.
Also,
You know what? You know someone's doing a good job when you don't hear about them in the news.
true. No news is good news.
So if you follow him on social media, he's always
Ooh.
posting these very positive things,
Yeah.
but he's getting the work done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a duck. They look all calm on the surface, but underneath those feet are going.
We need a culture of maintenance. That's all. I think it's a continental issue. South Africans like to be so hard on themselves.
Mm.
And I think let's just give ourselves credit that, not credit, but let's forgive ourselves a little bit. As a continent, there's a problem with a culture of maintenance where you'll find when you look at countries like Ghana and
Are you
whatever.
talking about baby daddies again?
Ah!
Maintenance.
But we really can build such impressive structures. You live in here, the first world, talk about how impressive it is. Then we don't keep it up.
Mhm.
It's like we showed you we can do it, and we're like, okay, we were cool, and then we walk away. So I think that's what's happening right now. This guy's probably realizing it's not a matter of what we don't have; it's a matter of what we don't maintain, what we're not taking care of. If we can take care of the stuff that we have,
Yeah.
and then we'll look at building other things. But let's look at what we have. Let's keep it alive.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Very serious note to end that part of the
No, me, I'm very
conversation.
serious. You know,
So-
my comedy doesn't just kick in.
It's
Yeah.
time for the window seat with travel.co.za. This is something that you could talk about because you've done a lot of holidays lately. And we're going to speak to Sam Bronkhorst, who was meant to be on a couple of weeks ago, and we canned the show. Poor Sam had to go home without ever appearing on the show. I felt terrible about that, by the way. No, I did. I sent you an email and I said, well, when you come in, we'll have flowers for you. I didn't bring the flowers.
I was about
but
to ask
mean,
if he sent you flowers.
See flowers.
No.
Oh gosh.
But listen, I mean, you have a pretty damn awesome job. So Sam works for Beachcomber.
Mm.
She is the sales executive
Yes.
for Beachcomber. You know, Beachcomber, they did all those, back in the day, they started the first trips to Mauritius.
No.
Isn't there a resort
That's not the
coming
names,
in KZN?
That's not one of ours, but yes,
Ah.
it's a
I thought it was a Beachcomber. Okay,
yeah,
that's
it's
not
not
one of yours.
Beachcomber, so we don't need
But
to talk about
Beachcomber,
it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
that
not that cool.
that name, just Beachcomber's been around a long
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
and it has got a good reputation
It
and
does.
people love it. It like smacks of tropical holidays, sipping stuff out of coconuts, you know, all the good stuff.
It's so good. I actually
Huh?
I just came back yesterday from Mauritius.
Don't make
It
us
was so good.
don't make us
It was
angry.
So
I
good.
was gonna say she's got a nice tan and she just
Exactly.
explained it.
But Mara, is this what you do every time? I mean, like, do you go there all the
Yeah, about
Twice,
3
three
times
ti-
a year.
yo?
No, I'm
That's
I'm
very
very
nice.
blessed.
For you. Oh.
Yeah.
Poor you. What a
I
hard
know.
job,
Such
Sam.
a tough job. You know, like it's a struggle to explain to my friends that I do actually work because it doesn't look like it. It looks like I'm just holidaying all the time. But Gareth, you're right. Beachcomber has been around for ages.
When did it start?
1952.
Yo,
So yeah,
the
very long.
50s.
Yeah.
That's
So
incredible.
we've been around for like over 70 years now. We're pretty much the pioneers of Mauritian tourism.
Yeah.
And it's such a respected brand. We really go above and beyond to make sure that we not only have the most exquisite hotels on the island, but also from a service perspective, from a food perspective.
So
from an
name those
experience.
hotels because people will know them.
Okay, so let's start from our 4-star categories. We've got Mauricia and Cannoneer, which are on the north part of the island.
Absolutely.
So if you are looking for shopping, some nightlife in Grand Bay, those are great hotels to look at. We've got Victoria and Trobeach on the northwest coast. West coast is the best coast.
Mhm.
Stunning.
Mhm.
Then we've got down on the southwest coast at the Le Morne Mountain, which is
God, that's beautiful.
it is the most
that is-
iconic location on the
that
island.
place. Have you seen those aerial pictures?
It's stunning.
Guys, look up Le Morne, LE space MORNE, aerial photograph. There is an underwater waterfall
Yes, exactly.
as the Tumi, you're gonna shit your pants for this, and I
It's
don't mean in a bad
amazing.
way. Like you can see the edge of the reef,
Yes.
and it goes down,
Yeah.
and there's this big beautiful mountain, and then these gorgeous resorts on this perfect white sand.
Perfect.
It's like every picture book.
Yeah.
And then you've got this magnificent see-through water, and that's how you could see the edge of this.
No,
And-
it's really
Wow.
is. It's on another level.
It's magnificent.
So we've got 2 5-star resorts that pretty much take up that entire peninsula,
Damn.
which is incredible. So obviously with us being around for so long, we were able to secure some of the best locations on the island, which is great.
Yeah.
Because as with any country, you've
Look
got
at
your
that.
good and your
Look there.
bad.
Look there to me.
Yeah. So that's, so a huge chunk of that is really
And that
Beachcomber.
mountain looks like a cathedral.
It's incredible.
And doesn't one of them
does.
also have a golf course on it?
Yes, so Paradis, which is
Yeah.
right there in this location,
Oh,
has got an on-site golf course, 18-hole championship recognized golf
Yo.
course. And then right next door at the foot of the mountain, we have Dina Robin. And what makes those 2 properties also so incredible is you've got 2 5-star properties which are interchangeable with one another.
Oh.
So that's huge value. And then we've got very close to the airport, we have Chandrani, one of our 4-star superior hotels. What makes that option so great, especially for people traveling with young kids, is it's only 10 minutes from the airport.
yeah.
So,
because
you know,
if your
you've
mum,
like
are we there
been
yet?
exactly
Yeah.
lugging these kids around and you're tired and you're frustrated. Now, the thought of getting in an hour-long transfer, I know as a mum, gosh.
Yeah.
Hell on wheels.
So
It is.
exactly. So Chandrani is very popular for that reason. And then for in terms of luxury, we have Royal Palm, which is part of leading hotels of the world.
Ooh.
And that's also something spectacular to experience.
You guys probably own more property in Mauritius than any Mauritian.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a huge
Huge.
portfolio of stuff.
It's an incredible portfolio. And essentially, we have something for everyone. So, if you're a family with young kids, we've got something for you. If you are people who don't want kids around you, we've got our adults only offerings. We've got,
When you say that, most people go, okay, that means there are no kids. But then there's a certain group of people who, when they hear adults only, they think, oh, this is going to be wild.
no,
Yeah,
it's
right?
not wild.
You know what I
It's
mean?
You
not-
are those
wild.
people, Gareth, please.
They're like, oh, it doesn't mean there are no children. It means that all the wild adults are there.
No,
Okay, but
no,
that's
no,
not
no,
the-
no.
Okay.
That would be
Clean
something
that up.
else outside of Beachcomber.
Got you.
Maybe you can talk a bit about that.
So-
Yes, Gareth.
No, I wish. But which places? Because South Africans love Mauritius. It's close.
Yes, it's close. Direct flights.
It's
Visa
it's
free.
tropical. It's heavenly. It's magnificent.
Safe.
It's safe. All of those things. And which of these places is the most popular?
Okay, so if we're talking like general stats wise, Victoria and Chandrani are generally our most popular hotels for South African families. I think it comes down to the fact that both offer premium all inclusive. We know the South Africans can, really,
Drink.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you got to be honest about this.
And we love our food. So everything is included. You've got some imported and premium brands in terms of liquor, that's all included. But further than just that, all your food, your snacks, All of that stuff is included. Another huge value add, especially for South Africans, because we are naturally quite active, is all of our water sporting is included, even water skiing, wakeboarding. We do guided glass bottom boat excursions every day, snorkeling trips. All of that is included.
Sure.
Regardless of whether you take all-inclusive or not.
But people love these all-inclusive
Exactly.
things. You know, because then you
It
also...
makes sense.
you don't have to stress. You're like, oh, how much am I going to spend over and above?
No, with Beachcomber, our all-inclusives are very, very inclusive. So I always tell my clients, like, the next time you're going to swipe that credit card is for your Uber at OR Tambo or your parking or whatever the case is. Because whilst you're with us, it's all included. And we've got so many different activities. I mean, if we're talking kids, we've got kids clubs and teens clubs. So if you just need like a minute away from those kids, not only do they have a safe space to go to, but we also have these interactive programs that we do with the kids.
You're just answering this for Carl. He says, I'm thinking of taking my wife and kids next year to celebrate our joint 40th birthdays.
Aww.
Are the facilities for kids as great as everyone makes out? I don't want to see my kids for a week. Is that possible?
That is so possible. And Beachcomber now offers decade birthday discounts and benefits. So
nice.
I'm seeing this 40th birthday.
Nice.
And so you'll get a discount on your package. The kids will be out of your hair and they love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So no, Beachcomber is truly an incredible product. Our staff are so warm and hospitable. We really aim to please. And it's just a winner.
Okay. Now, Mauritius is obviously one of the things that you guys are most famous for, and that's one of the best things that you do. Does Beachcomber have other properties all over the world, or is it just Mauritius?
We used to, but currently we are focusing only on Mauritius.
So,
we've got this belief that when you focus all your attention in one space, you can perfect it. And I think we've done that.
Going through those properties, my God.
Yeah, for Mauritius,
wow.
you honestly would experience the best with Beachcomber. And as I said, our value benefits are so great. And I mean, I know South Africans, we don't mind spending money as long as we know we're getting bang for our buck.
Yeah.
And we give you that. So when you're
what
spending...
give me a low end and give me a high end price here.
Gosh, it's so tricky because you've obviously got your different seasons. So
Sure.
Low season would obviously be the winter months, which is the same as South Africa winter months. December is pricey.
Sure.
So that's obviously our prime. But I suppose you're looking at anything from about 30,000 per person for a 7-week holiday. But remember, with Beachcomber, the kids are almost complimentary in a sense.
Sure.
Because when you share with your parents, we offer incredible family rates. So you're almost not paying for these children. So your holiday once again becomes value-filled. And then obviously our prices go up with our higher star-rated
I'm sure you
resorts.
you get those people who like having the fancy food and the,
Yes. But a cool thing with us is once you've opted for that all-inclusive, all your restaurants are pretty much included. In our entire portfolio of hotels, there's only 2 restaurants that come on a supplement. And that's like lobster dinners and 7-course Wagyu beef this and sashimi that. So those only 2 restaurants in our entire portfolio. Outside of those 2, every single restaurant is included in your meal plan, which is great because there's nothing worse than you go on the 7-night holiday and now you're stuck at the buffet the whole time.
Ooh, oh gosh.
You don't want that.
Baby.
So with Beachcomber, you don't have that. You've got an option to dine at a couple of different restaurants. The buffet is on a 7-day rotation at least. So every night at the buffet, it's something different. Plus, all of our 4-star resorts are interchangeable with one another.
Yeah.
So let's say you've opted for Chandrani because you want to be close to the airport, but you would like to experience the north of the island. No problem. Book yourself a taxi, go have a look around Mauritius, and once it's lunchtime, pop into one of our 4-star resorts up at the north and you can enjoy something different.
I was actually about to ask her that. Like, are you stuck on the resort the whole time?
No. And Mauritius
wow.
has actually got so many cool activities. So if you're one of those people that are like, oh gosh, I don't know if I could be on a beach for 7 days. I'd like to see and do some other things. Mauritius has got tons of activities, from zip lining to catamaran cruises to visits of different historical sites. There's so many different options depending on what your interests are.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not bound by our hotels. And then we've gone that step further to make it easy for you to not waste your all-inclusive, because you can now go and enjoy that lunch at another hotel or spend an afternoon somewhere else in a different section of the island.
If I asked you to explain like the difference between the east and west coast of Mauritius, could you explain that to me quite simply?
Yeah, so west coast is best coast.
Okay, yeah, you did say that. I think it's I haven't, because I haven't experienced the east coast of Mauritius.
All right, so the west coast is obviously on the west side of the island, and it's very sheltered from the island itself. So your weather is generally all year round. So let's say you are planning a winter holiday in those June school holidays or whatever the case is, I would definitely recommend looking at the west coast.
Because they occasionally get cyclones and things.
They do. But we're so well geared for it now. You know, we anticipate it. We've got great structures and policies and procedures in place to make sure you will be safe. You don't have to stress. The east coast, however, is susceptible to these like trade winds that sweep over the island, more so in the winter months. So here from around May to September, that's when it's a more dicey time to go. So yeah, in that sense, west would be best. And also you get the sunsets on the west coast. I mean, I don't want to be waking up at 5 a.m. to watch the sunrise on my holiday, but a sunset on your patio on the beach, and you get that on the west coast. And 7 of our 8 resorts are located on the west. So you get all of that. It's only Chandrani, but once again, because we have all this experience and we've been around so long, we've built that hotel in such a particular way that it is sheltered from any wind. So it's like almost tucked into a peninsula. And also on the Blue Bay Marine Park. So your snorkeling is like on another level. Sure. So yeah, depending on what you're looking for.
I haven't been there for years now, but the way you're describing it now, it feels like I should.
Well, you've got my number now. So.
Yeah, well, now we know. Now we know who to call.
Exactly.
But if you need to know anything else, you can also hit travel.co.za and they'll be putting up a whole bunch of promotions and ideas. And if you're looking for something to do this December or you want to plan in advance, which is always a good idea, right?
Always a good idea.
I mean, a lot of people don't get this. Like my brother is so smart. He's so much smarter than me. He like books a holiday a year or 2 in advance.
Oh, wow.
And he pays for it then. So that when it comes, he's like, oh, it's paid. I don't have to worry anymore. I'm like, I've got to get my life in order.
Yeah, it's
so
a good
organized,
idea.
Right?
And you get to choose like what room it is because nothing's sold out yet. You know, I mean, Mauritius books up quickly. It is such a favorite for South Africans going on holiday. So I would definitely recommend trying to book those holidays a little bit more in advance. It's generally a little cheaper. Plus, like I say, you get to secure what you want, where you want. And once you get there, then it's all paid. It's
amazing.
done.
All right. I love it. Linda says Beachcomber is absolutely the best. Every word she says is 100% true.
Yay.
I mean, she doesn't even work for you and she's saying these things.
Thank you.
All right.
That's awesome.
Well, it's very nice to spend time with you.
Yes. Thank you so much for this
coming.
opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Last time you came, you arrived here, had a cup of coffee and were chased away.
It's all good. I understand. Things happen.
So rude.
No, don't stress.
I'll never do that to anyone again. I you know, when you oversleep and you're like, oh God, who's coming? Who am I going to let down? What am I going to do? And for a while, you stop and you don't actually know what to do. So you, instead of getting ready or making a plan, you just go.
Yeah.
With your toothbrush in your hand or whatever. Yeah, you glitch.
I get it.
It's very bad. All right. But anyway, we're over it now. And I'm thrilled to have had you here this morning.
So you can.
Thank God. And I can go back to Mauritius with a clear conscience.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Sam.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much.
Great. And we will see you soon, either here or in Mauritius.
Fabulous. I look forward to it.
And if anybody does want any info, you can go along to travel.co.za and make your dream holiday a reality. We'll be back with more in just a moment or two. In a moment or two, Tumi Morake will be back with us for the next hour too. And we've got a guest popping in. She does kids' books, which is cool. Yeah. And that is a burgeoning category. Like, because parents are going, my kid's just on the phone the whole time. They need to read books. And the kids' books that they're doing now are fantastic. We're going to speak to Kelly. She's also an illustrator. So there's lots to talk to her about and plenty more good stuff on the way in the next hour. Don't go anywhere.
The greatest sports photographs of all time.
Yeah, so it's already
the
been
way
ranked
the
as
smoke
one of the
was
best,
in the air.
So that picture was actually taken out of awkwardness, and I'll tell you why. I remember kneeling there after this music cuts, and then CEO was supposed to come out, and I'm kneeling there for 20 seconds. And I'm going, I don't know what to do. I know people are watching me, but I really do not know what to do next. You know, literally that was going on through my head. Yeah. And then I remember the conversation with Marlon, and I'm like, imagine you're pulling C out the tunnel and you're sending him out. So as he got out, I literally just took the spear and I like drew a line as if like I'm pulling him out of the tunnel, and I was pointing and shooting him into the crowd. And it only came across that it was planned. It wasn't. It was just me feeling awkward and standing there going, I don't know what else to do with myself.
It is.
Hey, why now?
Why do you bring that up? We've moved on.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. This is the Gareth Cliff Show on the Real Network. I hope you're having an awesome start to your day. And I hope you're ready for a little more Tumi Morake.
Yeah.
So Tumi's been hanging with us this morning. She's around. She's in the country. We're thrilled that she could come and join us. I took a chance. I said to James on Monday or yesterday, I was like, here's a number. See if this bitch in town. Lucked out.
We
lucked out. Okay, so here's some stuff that's going on in the news because you don't pay attention to the news.
Yes.
So apparently they locked up a guy who had 200,000 Rand in traffic fines. 200,000 Rand.
Yeah, I
Traffic
think it's
fines.
a thing, that thing.
I think they just don't they just arrest you if you have, I mean, he must have had lots of little fines.
And then they all made one big fine.
Yeah.
No, but also, you know what it is? Then you also keep changing cars.
Ooh, and you don't pay the old ones.
Eh.
I don't know. Is there a site that you can go to now? Because
There always has been, though. I don't understand. Like,
but which one? Because so I'll tell you now. I've got it on here.
I know I've got Pace City. I don't know if it's still called Pace
So
City.
there's Fines SA. Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's that Pace City one you're talking
Yeah.
about, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, doesn't it?
No. Then there's the actual ARTO website, right? arto.gov.za.
Right.
And I logged in there the other day and it says I have no fines. So I'm going to take it as gospel.
No, man, are you sure Pace City doesn't exist anymore?
I'm telling you, I'm looking at it now.
But even on I think on my bank, I once saw that I could enter my ID number and then see if I had a fine to pay. Or is it that you can just enter your fine?
I'm doing it
Anyway,
right now.
But to find out, I feel like technology is on your side, man. You just Google traffic fines.
No,
and then
but
it'll give you sites
I'm
where
not
you
sure.
can do
So
this
it's not
thing.
sending me a one-time pin. I'll tell you now.
No,
I'm doing this
but
in real time.
I'm gonna check Pace City here.
388284. Hang on.
No, but my thing is that also happens because for it to get to that,
Okay,
you know,
so-
these roadblocks where these guys will then try and get you to. No, man, it still exists. Yeah, man, I knew.
What pay city?
Yeah. For me, I'm going, what have you been doing at the roadblocks? Because then somebody must account. Because it means they stopped you. They said, look at how many fines we have taking you. And then you go, but here's a Coca-Cola. And then they go for the Coke. And then, because I'm sorry, thank you, sir. How do you arrive at that amount when, for me, to remember to check my fines has been because I've arrived in one of those and I was, I drive sponsored cars. And the one time I was driving a car that had fines for days. And I was like, as you can see, this is not my car. You can see there's a little plastic thing hanging. Yeah, I was like, you can see this plastic thing hanging here. This is not my car. It belongs to the company. It's like, my sister, now tell them they're getting you into trouble. I'm like, yeah, I'm phoning them now to tell them they're getting me into trouble. But I'm not going to pay this person's traffic fines of my 10,500. I'm like, oh, what the
10,000.
10.5 tempo. I may as well have gone and hired a car. So, so, but to arrive at 200,000, it means you've been a great negotiator. You've been very lucky at the roadblocks, but how did they finally nab you? Because also you can negotiate. For me, I go at a certain point, then you go, let me stop being a lazy bum. Let me go to court and negotiate. Because I remember some years back, man, there's a dude who went, someone I know, they went to go negotiate their funds because they were at 30,000.
Yeah.
They went in, wara. They let him pay my 5,000.
Oh, okay. So you can actually argue.
You can go and plead your case.
But that's at court.
But you have to be willing to go there. But you're not in court. But it's
the
there.
Traffic court.
Yeah.
It's
They
like
called it court. But I was like, there was no, there was no trial. It was just Your Honor, I cannot afford to pay Your Majesty or whatever they called it.
So I've got a 320 Rand I can pay now. Should I pay it?
Do they still have them? I used to get, so there was a time I drove a Beamer. And guys, it's not my fault. On behalf of all BMW drivers out there, because I don't drive one anymore. It's not them, it's the car. I used to collect fines like I was collecting stamps, and I used to pay these fines because they were half. They were like, if you pay in this time, you still pay half.
Yeah.
And my friend, I was paying. I'm sure that if they're a Hall of Fame, they will be like, this driver, she's the one. So do they still have them? Because that for me, there was also incentive to just get it out of the way. It's
actually meant to be 400, but they give you an 80 Rand discount.
Oh, it's a discount even. Yeah, so do it.
And then they'll show you a picture of you.
But also,
this isn't me.
The traffic people must give us grace. You don't know. Maybe you hired a car. People must give us grace because for me, I'm going, if it's a 60-kilometer zone, come on, man. It's 60 kilometers per hour. There's no school around. There's no old people's village around. And then I went at Boma 75.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still in the 70s. Why don't you just cancel it and go, but I mean, it was 72, 71. It used to break my heart when I'm getting the 250 Rand fine because I went 71 in the 60 zone. I'm like,
no, that's just stupid.
Look where we were, man.
They tried to arrest me once for 101 kilometers an hour in a 60 zone.
Yeah, but that's too much. You're not getting any sympathy. 101. Just because you add the 1 to the 100 in a 60. I thought you were going to say that 80, dog. In a 60.
No, but it's please. Complete nonsense. Nonsense. Okay, now I'm going to put in my credit card details.
That's almost double.
It's not almost double. Bullshit, man. So you're telling me at 99...
You were 20 kilometers shy of going at double the speed limit. Arrive alive. Yesterday. What do you think this is?
I get no sympathy from you on
this. Like, I understand you're going at 70 something in a 60. I was going at 100.
This Cape Townian guy has outstanding warrants of more than 200,000 Rand.
In Cape Town?
Yeah, he's been arrested. He was among 2 motorists in the city of Cape Town's top 100 list of offenders. So you mean 98 of them are still out there?
And it's probably those guys who race each other just because they look at you and you're like,
Yeah. So apparently 98 of them are still out there. An operation in Mitchell's Plain on Thursday. The pair had 87 warrants between them. Warrants, not just fines. Valued at 226,550 Rand. In the past week, law enforcement recorded a high number of offenses, executed numerous warrants of arrest, and made several arrests, predominantly for driving under the influence and reckless driving.
Reckless driving, yeah. Under the influence, the jury's still out with me on that one.
Why?
He.
No, go on.
No. So, alcohol is a thing. It's a thing that is a tricky thing. You can, amen.
Come on, out with it.
It's a tricky thing. I once got stopped by a cop who breathalyzed me, and I took that breathalyzer with such confidence because I knew I had not drunk that much. In fact, I was in a mood that night. So because I was in a mood, like I was in a cack mood, we did the toast at the thing. I did my half a glass of champagne and I was out. That's how much I was even trying to be there. This guy breathalyzes me, comes back, go, Sissy. Yeah, no, you're over. And I was like, I'm what? You understand? And I was like, I question these breathalyzers. Because sometimes I'm going, you just want a bribe from me, my friend. And then when I refuse to give you a bribe, you are going to write me a fine anyway, or you're going to lock me up.
Yeah.
You understand? Or you're going to send me on my way and tell me you're giving me a chance, but you're not
Correct.
giving me a chance. Then I have an associate who was so over the limit. The cop was even like, it's 1.1, like you're just 110. But this guy was stone cold sober like this. Because some people are German tanks.
Yeah.
They can take that booze.
Yes, definitely.
And this guy was driving better than a guy who would probably had 2 glasses of wine.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So this thing of people driving under the influence and reckless driving, I feel like if you're recklessly driving under the influence, then you must be in trouble. But if this thing is saying you're over, but I'm like, Mr. Officer, from the point at which you spotted me to the point at which I stopped and how I stopped, do you feel like I'm a danger to other drivers? Did my response time tell you I'm a danger to other drivers?
So I'm going to argue for and against. Okay. For, and this is where I agree with you, I think sleepy drivers are a much bigger problem.
Yay!
Way bigger, especially
Yay!
those guys in those 18-wheeler trucks.
Yo.
You know, those monster trucks that come
That's
barreling past you on the highway. And then you see them like going like this and like that. And you think, that guy's... And they work like 18-hour shifts and whatever.
Tired, yeah.
So that's very dangerous. That's way more dangerous. And they never pull you over and go, let me check how tired you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's as big, if not a bigger problem than drunk driving. So if you're going to be because you have a way to measure drunk driving, or you think you do, then that's something you enforce. But I don't know, like, that they're that worried about that stuff. I don't drive drunk anymore is the other part of the argument. I used to, before Uber came along. Now I just pay. I mean, you got to pay. So I don't take a chance anymore. It costs me a lot of money when I do go out.
Yeah.
Because it's far and you don't want to travel in like some shitty car where the guy sleeps in it at night. So you get Uber Black or whatever, and then it costs you.
Yeah,
So-
but also it kills your drunkenness, having to drive drunk, because now you're also trying to fight the booze.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're like, okay, booze, do your thing. Booze is like, you dumped me for your car. But continue.
No, but that's also
Your
a thing.
against argument.
No, but in my less kind of careful youth, there weren't Ubers. So you had to drive.
Yeah.
And if you went somewhere, you would drive drunk. I say we thought we had to. You had to be at things. And anyway, I mean, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, it is. Look, I get the danger of it, but I feel like as a cop, when you stop me and you pull me over for drunken driving and whatever, I feel like if I haven't given you a reason to pull me over for drunken driving and you're going to breathalyze me and I'm over, read the situation as well. You know what I mean? And especially if you're stopping me when I'm already home, my brother, you're too late. I'm here now. Let me go sleep it off. Like, what are we doing? You know?
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I know it's a serious issue, but I also feel like
I'm glad you said it.
Apply our minds.
I'm glad you-
teachers used to say, apply your mind.
I
Apply
think
your
you're right.
mind.
A lot of those cops, though, are not capable of applying their mind.
Because what do they do with people who are too high? I've also had people who
Oh,
are
yeah,
high.
that's
Then
another
you
thing.
breathalyze
Good point.
and the weed is not coming up on the breathalyzer. No, that's not fair.
And don't tell me someone who smoked like a whole fucking plantation of weed
Bruh.
that they're driving perfectly. Did you ever watch The Big Lebowski, where the best crash scene in the history of cinema? He's like busy smoking this
remember The Big
massive
Lebowski.
joint. You remember The Big Lebowski? And he drops the joint in his lap and he's like, oh, fuck, man. Oh, man. He's like, He's trying to find the joint, and then he can't find the joint, and his car just goes at like 5 kilometers an hour into some rubbish bin. And he's like, "Oh fuck, man! Like that was a serious accident." It's hilarious. So don't tell me that those guys are not dangerous on the road.
They're not, right? 'Cause
What? So slow?
they engage with everything that's happening. I know, guys. Now you must avoid him because he's going at 40 kilometers in the fast lane where you're going at 130 kilometers per hour. And then you're like, but you're the cause of the accident. You're speeding. No, bitch. It's
No.
130 in a fast lane. He's
Exactly.
going at 40 kilometers per hour. He's a danger to himself.
Exactly. So Signet says, how about those unroadworthy skorokoros on the road that have no brakes and you can see that the axles are not aligned?
Bruh. Where I'm like, why don't you just carry your car and walk? What are we doing here? Let's go walk in the yellow lane with that thing before you get us all killed. Yesterday.
You see, Kala brings up this thing which drives me crazy. Drive me home services. You must just commit to your going home time with most. See, I don't like that. What if you want to stay? Or what if you want to go earlier? Now you have to sit. I think the latter is worse. Imagine you go
Drive me home.
and you say, fetch me at 1. But then
Oh.
by 10, the party's shit. And now you're stuck there, right? You're like,
Wait, is drive me home like these Uber services, or is drive me home like they will come and drive your car home for you?
they come and drive your car home for you.
That's nice.
But if you book them too early or too late, big problem.
No,
That's
but
not
that
good.
works, man. That works because I don't trust. To be honest, I don't trust e-hailing anymore. There's just too many horror stories. We have a friend now who's just been rescued after being kidnapped.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not going to name the service.
Really?
Yeah, they were kidnapped. They were sent pictures of him tied up naked. And luckily, because they stole his phone, but not before these guys were able to track it. They were able to find its last location and they found him, thank God, because I think 24 hours later, they probably found him dead.
Jesus,
You
that's
understand?
terrifying.
So, and this wasn't the first time. I remember even bumping into another celebrity I think this was a couple of years back, and her mother just had that happen to her. But she was sexually assaulted on top
Oh
of that.
my God. Yeah.
So
Listen,
I-
I wouldn't want to be a girl on my own.
So I'm scared to do that.
Yeah.
But this was a dude who got kidnapped as well. Everybody is up for the take, by the way, for taking, because this is a dude I'm telling you about who was kidnapped and tied up.
Not
So-
Kamala. She's got a Glock.
Me, I will stab you. Me, let me tell you something. I'm a coward.
You would fight.
No, I will fight, but only because I'm a coward. I'm afraid of dying.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid of getting hurt. So when I fight, I am fighting because I'm trying to avoid those two things, which means I need to lobotomize you. I need to eliminate any possibility of you being
What will you
able
do?
to
Grab
end my
whatever's
life.
there.
My mother taught me two things. So my mother used to roll with a butcher knife in the door of the car.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And she used to have a
One of those for slashing the chickens.
and she used to have a long ass nail.
Yeah.
The rest was just short enough to be strong. So her nails were short enough. You know when your nails are short enough that they
Yeah.
proper
They're not gonna
solid?
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother had a theory. If she doesn't get to stab you in time, if she doesn't gouge your eyes out with the one giant talon and the other strong backups, she said, and I quote, "Tumi, you must bite onto his penis or his balls. Just in that area. Hold on. Be like a bull terrier. They must have to remove you with the jaws of life. You don't let go, Tumel. You don't. And you hold with your life, Tumel.
And that will be your plan.
That would be
You
my
will
plan.
survive. Jesus, guys, I think we found a promo for the day. That's awesome. Yeah, and you know what? You can kick that, you can hit that, you can bite that. The guy will go down.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how big, how scary,
Yeah.
what gun.
Yeah. It's little things because you're quick to sometimes you're not as quick as you think you would be. So the things you want to do, like I know the first thing I want to do is punch you in the throat, maybe hit you in the sternum. So
Yeah.
But in that moment, I just hear my mother's voice. Like, is there a knife? No knife, damn it. Nails. Okay, let's go. And hold on for dear. Because when you go down, also the person thinks you're going down, you're losing power. Can't you are aiming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're
That's a very, very useful survival tip. You see,
yeah.
no fight or flight, just fight.
Mm-mm. Can you imagine in court? when you have to explain what you did.
Excuse me, Miss Morake. Yes, my lady.
Yes, my lady.
When you saw that you had no other option,
Yes, my lady.
did you bite down on the man's penis with great force?
My lady, I was told that I must immobilize the assailant, Your Honor. Whereupon I employed my dental.
Your English
abilities.
is so much better when you're in trouble.
Your Honor, no Diddy. It was all in self-defense. No Diddy.
No Diddy is going to become an
no
excuse.
Diddy.
Remember how No Diggity was a song? Now it's No Diddy, right? Someone's got to do a parody of
No
that.
Diddy. No doubt.
Right. Oh
She's
my God.
got baby oil.
Now, listen to this. Qantas Airlines.
Hey,
the Australian
Qantas. I know them.
Qantas.
Hey, they are wonderful.
Oh, they're
I've flown
wonderful.
Qantas. Yes.
Okay,
many
so
times.
apparently they had to apologize because they showed an X-rated film on their flight
The one time I don't fly with them.
from Sydney to Tokyo.
Oh, that's a long flight.
So apparently it included families with young children on the plane, and the inappropriate screening happened after the plane's in-flight entertainment system failed to work before takeoff. After staff were unable to fix it, they they took off after a delay, the crew deciding to show the same film to everyone instead.
Oh
However,
my gosh.
To the horror of some passengers on board, the 9.5-hour flight, the sexually explicit drama
Oh
Daddy-O,
my
I've never heard of
gosh.
this one, then began to play. To make matters worse, travelers reported they were effectively forced to watch because they were unable to turn it off or pause or even dim their individual screens.
Every mother's nightmare.
So it's not like on the
see
entertainment
the child.
selections. It's not like you had options and then this was one of the options.
Although I have an ask.
Yeah.
So in this case, who do we blame? The crew or the technical guy who puts the TVs on? Because clearly when he's working and doing the TVs, he's got this backup thing that he's watching by himself. Because there's no way that was an offering that existed
That's
in the
probably right.
lineup.
That's probably it.
So that's like finding somebody's porn stash.
Mm-hmm.
Yo!
But people don't have that anymore because that's the internet.
What do you mean people don't have that anymore? Porn stash?
It used to be a thing.
Yeah, but it's still a thing.
You think?
Hey, that is expensive, my friend. That is expensive.
So you
And
think people keep stuff?
No, you must. I have a couple of downloads myself. Some things they will.
You keep stuff. The internet's there forever.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the internet was down yesterday. There is Celine Dion
You hit a dry
or
a dry
Jonathan,
patch.
and he's like, yeah, but I'm in a situation. And there's no internet. Now you must sit there and go into your own memory bank, and your memory bank is not loading because everyone comes with a history. Now you must go.
That Don Kitty agrees. People have folders still, Gary.
Yes.
Really?
And then you log it with a passcode, and now we have fingerprint and all of that, face recognition. Now no
So
one will
people
open it
still
for you.
keep the actual files.
Yes. Especially
Wow.
because sometimes then when you come back to the search, then you can't find that one and all this other nonsense coming up, or maybe it got taken down for
So
whatever
you have
reason.
your special, your favorite
Yeah,
one.
Muna, sometimes you'll find that there's that one, and you're like, I know this is gonna get taken down. I better download this mother right now. You can see this was revenge porn. It wasn't meant to go out, but it's so good. So then you download it and you keep it for research purposes, because maybe like me, you're a writer, and that's why you have it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, so now we know something.
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
yeah. You
I
don't-
thought,
you don't
I
always
just
have to
assumed with
spend.
the internet and with phones, like it's just consumer and then you throw it away. It's like, why would you keep the old McDonald's packet after you've eaten the stuff in it?
Have you made good porn? You must keep that thing for posterity.
All right, well, now we know. James working part-time. What does that say? Just go back to that one.
Oh no!
Oh, Ray McCauley died. Random news flash from Bushveldput this morning.
Thanks,
Shame, old Ray
Bushveldput.
McCauley. Listen, love him, I hate him. The guy had an enormous impact, right?
He did.
And his church has become unbelievably huge and massively influential.
Mm,
And I think it's helped lots of people.
mm.
You know, there was, if you asked the old me from like 10 years ago, I'd be like, the churches are just taking advantage of people. And there's still a part of me that thinks that. But if you give people hope, give them a
Yeah.
place to go on a Sunday, you make
Yeah.
them feel important, you bring them
Yeah.
closer to God, you give them a moral scaffolding to build
Yeah.
their life on. I don't see how I have any right to criticize that.
Yeah. No, I loved his church. Like, I'm not a big, like,
Did you go there?
happy clappy
But
person,
did you ever go to his?
I have friends who go to Rhema, and back when he was still preaching, I got to visit quite a few times. But even after that, you know, there's that saying about leaders, like a good leader will leave and things will continue to run. Like,
Yeah, because he
the way
stopped.
he
He
had-
stopped actually preaching a long
yeah,
time
he
ago.
did.
Yeah.
And so that's what I like, that even among his whole scandal, you know, there was a whole scandal
Yeah.
with the estranged from his wife and all of that. But I loved that the structure remained solid. Like, I've never gone to Rhema church and regretted it or felt
Okay.
like I got nothing out of it. So his passing, shame, I am sad, because I feel like, man, nobody's perfect.
Mm,
And
yeah.
the institution that he was a part of and that he's built and the people he's left behind and what he's taught is beautiful. I
think that's very
sorry
special.
for them, and it is quite a loss. And also for me, it was also a very you know, you're used to going to your churches when you're growing up, which are just your people. You just see people who look like you, and then you go to Rhema and you saw everyone.
Yeah,
from
Rhema-
everywhere.
Rhema
people
did a
from all walks
Great
of
job
life.
of making themselves accessible to
Yeah,
everybody.
To everybody.
And there was never any hierarchy. There was never any, as far as I understand, I was never there. But people who have been, and I've got friends who go to Rhema,
Yeah.
and I know that people used to make a big thing about the fact that Ray McCauley used to be a bouncer and that he started this church. But I mean, is that a bad thing? I think that's great.
Yeah.
You can make the world a bit better, create not only a family empire, which is what it was, but also this place for people to go to.
Yeah, and I mean, how many of us have paid money for a church roof and the roof is still leaking 25 years later and we're still paying for the church roof?
Oh, and Rayma's just
We saw
growing.
where the money went. We
Yeah.
even in terms of the outreach work,
Yeah,
you know. So
sure.
me, I'm like, man, we will all have our things to say about people, but give people their flowers.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Thanks for the
Yeah,
update
dankie,
there.
Bushveld,
Yeah,
somebody.
bush. What? Yeah, bush pig.
Bushveld, boot. I saw boot funny Bushveld.
All right.
Hello,
What,
wow.
what did you put up about James there? I want to see James, the producer. You took that off. You took that off in a hurry.
And plug your
James
computer in,
working
it's about
part
to
time
die.
at Qantas now. Yeah, James, that's the kind of technical mess up that you would have done.
That's kind of
So apparently, Daddy-O, the movie that they showed, is rated 18 in the UK for language, sexual material, nudity. But in
So that's soft
Australia,
porn.
it's only 15 plus for
Soft
strong,
porn.
coarse language and
Yeah,
nudity.
but have you met Australia? They throw the C word around like,
Do they?
excuse me. Oh my
Do
gosh.
they?
I was shocked. Like,
I thought Australians had
crass.
become quite bad.
now I've always thought I'm crass.
Really?
But the C word in Australia,
Really?
it's like bless you. It
Really?
just, it flows.
How you doing, cunt?
Yes. It's just a cunty thing. And like, even when I say
Really,
now,
they
it
say
hits
it.
me because that word is so,
There's this guy I follow on Instagram. He's like a fitness influencer guy. And I mean, I follow him because he's hilarious. And he starts every video by going, morning, cunts.
Hey,
He's
see you next
Australian.
Tuesday. It's a see you next
Yes.
Tuesday. Don't call it by
Yeah,
it.
some people
that
still
word
don't.
is so-
They find that's the word.
Yeah,
you know?
even me, I get a bit of a
It's a very old lady thing to me. I didn't expect that from you.
no. Please, Gareth.
Really?
Gareth, I'm 42.
Because you meet those
respect
people.
me.
You meet those
I'm
people who are like,
42.
you know,
I'm
I can handle shit and
I can,
tits.
I can.
but I
handle.
don't want to hear that C word.
Hey,
It's
no,
just-
because
that's
it sounds
too much.
personal.
That's too much.
Do you understand how specific it is? Like you're not giving a general body. Like when someone goes pussy, I don't care. I'm like it's a general area. Let's work in that area. When you say cunt, I get a picture in my head. I'm like, you are being quite precise right now. Sir.
Really?
Yeah. So you throw it around that
So
many
it can
times.
never be
I'm
said
just
with.
getting the
It can
visual.
never be said with love.
No. I
That's why.
refuse.
That's why, right?
It's so targeted. It's absurd.
And Raven wants to know, what about puss?
It's general. I
Okay.
can live with it. It's general.
We're learning things here. This is a
Peter Oliver eats sweets. Everything around my children,
Peter
I have
Oliver
learned how
eats-
to not.
You've got acronyms.
I
for-
must.
And
My children,
what do they call them? Euphemisms.
it's a must. Although they see through some of them now, they start doing it, and then I go, "You can't do that because you're swearing." And
But
I'm
you
aware
know
you're
they're swearing when they're
And,
at
then,
school.
and I tell them,
and
"Don't do that." It's fine, swear there, but don't now.
It's disrespectful for them
Because people are
swearing
going to
in
be
front
like,
of
"You see,
you.
we told you Morake can't have kids." Now they are swearing like sailors. I'm like, guys, you can't do that.
Ah.
Ish. Especially because I give them a swear pass. That's why
Oh.
I say don't do that in front of me, because you have your swear pass and you have to earn it, and you know the circumstances under which you earn it.
One of my friends has a kid who has a swear jar.
Mm.
And when I go there to visit, I just give him 20 Rand up front. I'm like, because he's going to charge me
It's
like, I don't
coming.
know, 10 cents a word or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, here, you little fucker, take that and don't come to me again.
Yeah.
Okay. And he goes and puts it in the swear jar.
My daughter bought a K-pop album on my swear jar money,
Really?
and that's in dollars now.
That's a lot.
And I feel like I've reformed. That's why I've worked on my acronyms.
But you don't swear a lot in.
No, but they catch me out
Mm.
in the little things.
But you don't have a problem with people swearing either, right?
No,
It's just Australians with the
no,
C
just
word.
the C word. Throw them all about. But also, I feel like in vernac, when people are swearing in vernac, it also hits me in the
Yo.
core, because I feel like, but now the ancestors are hearing what you're saying
Mhm.
also. You know, in English, I feel like they're missing it. It's flowing in the wind. But when you do it in vernac, yeah.
What's the worst word?
I'm not going to say those
Please
words.
tell me.
No, they're all bad. I don't think any is worse. Okay, I think the lightest would be Masepa, which is shit.
Masipas, yeah. sure.
Masepas, I can live with Masepa, but
But you almost went almost for a second.
yeah, but there'll be people like who
Go on.
mm,
Come on.
but people are gonna judge me.
Go. I just want to hear it.
Okay, so like I've heard drunk people in the throw ditala. Around ditala is
Ditala.
balls, but it's like
Balls are such a bad.
no, but it's such a biologically and
Ditala.
language like, you know, when the translation is precise and clean. I'm like, this is pure unadulterated Setswana. Wabona, now you must visualize. My friend,
Ditala.
Maret. I'm like, wow, same thing. I'm just like, I can't, you know. And then this situation I won't even name, because that's next level. And I'm from Bloemfontein. When you hear someone from Bloemfontein of color say to you 051, just know your poor mother's unmentionables have been mentioned. It is so hectic. Hey, that's nothing. I can handle it there. That one is just, you know what it does? Not even that one. Let me tell you something. You know why that word in Setswana bothers me? It speaks to it almost gives you the sound of the thing.
Yeah.
The way it should sound when it's
well, that's
healthy
what
and
beautiful
moist.
words as well as very ugly ones do.
Yes.
Right. They
give
make
you,
the sound.
Yeah. So because for me, I know that at its healthiest and juiciest as it should be, that's pretty much what you're expecting to hear. I hear that word and I go, you went straight to it. Leave it alone. We heard you. You know? Swearing is too much. It's the spirit with which it is done that makes it even worse.
I think it's hilarious because there are people who are genuinely like still upset when they hear a swear word.
Yes.
You find people who are, and it's so funny. It's like
you'll say crap and someone's
but
angry.
It's become because of media changing. There used to be rules. You couldn't say this, couldn't say that. And therefore, everybody was trying so hard to say those words. That's gone away now. I find I swear less now than I used to 10 years ago because they told me I couldn't. Right?
So
if
when you say you can't, you do it more.
I rebel for no reason.
That makes sense.
So if you say to me, you mustn't go there, all I want to do is go there. Right? So I'm just like a child.
Gareth, don't give me R1,000,000. Don't do it. Do not give me R1,000,000.
Do you think you'd be a terrible billionaire?
Oh my gosh.
I think you'd be fine.
Oh my gosh.
What would you buy for yourself?
Oh, definitely a car. I'm useless with cars. I would firstly just get myself something ridiculous and then
When you say a car, but like money's no object.
yeah.
What's the dream car? We talk about cars a lot on this show.
I know. So it's nothing new. It's just a Bugatti Veyron. I fell in love with Bugatti Veyrons a long
That's
time ago.
very, very, very sexy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you didn't say something everybody would have said.
Oh.
No, because people always go Ferrari or a Porsche
No,
or
a Bugatti Veyron, guys.
Bugatti. But a Bugatti Veyron, you couldn't drive that in South Africa. You could drive it in your American house, in your American suburb, right?
Oh, my friend.
You're dreaming now. You're picturing yourself at the wheel.
Do you know that as motivation to my children with school and stuff, I'm always like, guys, you're my retirement plan. If not for you, for me. You're my retirement plan. I want nice things.
But they are smart children. They might just end up being very, very successful,
smart ones will
making
take, but
you lots
the
of
success
money.
people take time. This middle one, please, sock. Now I'm like,
is that what you're bargaining on?
Yeah, forget academics.
Are you going to be like the
I
Williams
want
parents
mine.
with Serena and Venus? Is that what you're going to be like that Williams father? Like Tiger Woods' dad? Like Andre Agassi's dad? She's going to be, right, practice.
Yay!
But mom, it's 9 at night. I need to sleep. No,
This
practice.
is your future. Mine, ours, selfish. But yeah, that's
Well, I mean, wouldn't that be nice?
it would be
Cristiano
nice.
Ronaldo money.
And he loves Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a sign.
Oh, is our guest ready? Oh, good.
Woo!
Okay, we're going to talk about, we're talking about children. We're talking about children's books.
Yes, I love
So, okay,
children's
let me
books.
give you a quick intro to this. So Kelly Kashula, who's going to join us in a second,
Yeah.
is a book illustrator and designer. Now, kids' books, as I said earlier, we've had Gord on the show before. Gord Laws does his own kids' books. He's got the most beautiful illustrations in his books. And with kids' books, you have to make it beautiful.
Mhm.
They're not going to look at a book because they can go on their phone or they can
Yeah.
screens, PlayStations, iPads, God knows what, right?
Yeah.
So you have to, pictures will do way more to sell a kid's book than the
Mm.
actual content.
Mm.
So I wanted to talk to Kelly to find out about this stuff. She's said here that stories are good, fine, but you need to have visual stimulation for children. So I wanted to find out from her. She's written a couple of amazing books, and her passion for storytelling has taken her all over the world. She published her first children's book back in 2021, not so long ago, called I Caught One of Santa's Reindeer, the first book in the Super Duper Secret Collection. Good name. And she also wrote Captured the Easter Bunny's Chicken, and I Discovered a Monster Under My Bed, which is probably too scary for Tumi and I.
Yeah,
So,
Tokolosh.
Kelly, how are you?
I'm
There she
great.
is.
How are you?
Can we hear you? Kelly, just unmute yourself.
It's giving pandemic.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute
I-
yourself.
I am
there we go.
unmute.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Awesome. Awesome. And well done on all your success so far. Tumi's got 3 kids. I don't have any, but I used to, as a kid, absolutely love reading. And my favorite books to read were Asterix because they were illustrated.
True.
And I loved Roald Dahl books because they had these disgusting drawings by a guy called Quentin Blake.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember that.
The Twits and George's Marvelous Medicine and The Witches and all of that stuff. James and the Giant Fox, James the
Right.
Giant Peach,
Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox, all of those. So I love kids' books. How did you get into this pre-2021? What were you doing?
Pre-2021, I was an au pair in Paris.
Wow.
Oh.
So, and before that, I was at university studying film, and so I absolutely loved stories. And I think destiny had a hand in me to kind of write stories, and so it kind of brought the children that I was au pairing with, as well as my love for stories, film, and books together into one and mashed it all together.
So, I mean, obviously you must be one of those people who's really good at storytelling. So you do the funny voices, the sound effects, all of that stuff. When you're telling the kids the story, that's the best part, right?
Yeah, that's the best part. I remember when people were reading stories to me, and I absolutely loved it when we went all silent with the voices and whispered and loud. And so I incorporated that actually in my stories with the text. So, when the character is speaking very lowly, the font goes really small and it whispers. And then when they go really loud, it's like really, really loud in text as well, to help the parents as well read the story and get comfortable in their own skin reading to their kids.
So, I mean, you said you were in filmmaking before this. So that's obviously kind of storytelling too, but it's, in some ways quite similar to, because when you do a film, you have to storyboard it first, right?
Yeah.
You have to plan the whole story. And sometimes that involves illustrations too. Is that where you first started drawing?
No, I started drawing since I could pick up a pen. The day I was born, someone gave me a pencil in my hand, and
The day
I was
you were born.
drawing away.
When I was born, I was peeing all over the place. I don't think I did anything useful for a couple of months. Don't lie to us and say the day you were born. But I'm sure it was shortly
And
after that.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller, so we kind of
Exaggeration is fine.
exaggerate and fantasize quite a lot.
Okay. Tell me quickly about the drawings themselves. Like, what kind of stuff do you love drawing people? Because those are obviously central to most stories. You have to be able to draw people, right?
Yeah, I draw, the characters that are in the books. Mainly, they're just kids, and I started off with line drawing. So very simple, very elegant. In fact, a lot of people have been saying that my Super Duper Secret collection you can use as a coloring book, and I never thought of that until somebody pointed out. I was like,
That's cool.
Wow!
Tell me about that name, the Super Duper Secret Collection. I mean, that. Like any kid who reads about a Super Duper Secret collection is going to want it, no matter what's in it. You could put like razor blades in there, and they'll want it.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, well, the Super Duper Secret collection. It came out actually from the character, the heroine, Little Lizzie, and she starts the book with I called one of Santa's reindeer, but shh. It's a secret, and that's when the title came to me. Oh wait, this is super duper secret, and you can't tell anybody because nobody's going to leave you anyway. And so that's where the title came up with. And then I just went with it because it just worked really nicely and flowed, and I really like it.
All right, level with me. Is it very, very difficult to sell kids' books? Because publishing in general is hard. You know, I've written 2 books and everybody said, oh, they did really well. And I was like, well, there's no fucking money. So I don't know what they're talking about. But are you doing okay in terms of actually making money out of this, making a living out of this?
I'm not making a living, but I am making something, which I'm proud of.
Are you actually talking to us from a container at the moment?
No, well, you can call it a container. It's a French container, which is an apartment in Paris, so very tiny.
It is. So you're actually in Paris at the moment?
Yes, I'm actually in Paris. Lovely Paris. It's a bit dark at the moment.
Vous parlez aussi français?
Un petit peu.
Votre accent, c'est excellent.
Ah, mais si, parce que c'est mon fiancé, c'est parler français. Et je parlais avec toi.
Vous avez un fiancé. What does your fiancé think of your? What does your fiancé think of your writing and your books?
Oh, he loves it, and he's very supportive. In fact, he is one of the main reasons why I have excelled so brilliantly. And I'm so happy that he came into my life. I wrote the first one, and then the second one I wrote in South Africa, and he kept on pushing me like, hey, when's the next chapter? Are you doing this?
Is he South African or French?
He's French.
He's
a French guy.
Boyfriend, fiance. Very nice. What's his name?
Fred or Frederic.
Frederic.
I like Frederic.
Yeah.
I would call him in full. I'd never call him
listen, I love this.
Frederic.
I think it's very, very cool. Where can we find your books?
You could find them on Amazon, and some of them are actually on Take-A-Lot.
Oh, nice.
So you'll be able to do that. And if you walk into a local bookstore, you should be able to ask for the titles. They can always ship it because they have this main data system called Ingram Spark. And so the local bookstores just type in the name and they say, yeah, we can get this. And they usually ship it. It'll come in a couple of weeks.
I love it. Kelly, well done. I think it's so great. When everybody else is talking about like inventing the next app, we need to realize like books still have a really important role to play. And I love the look. Again, these bright colors. It's so beautiful. Clever. I met David Williams the other day, who used to do Little Britain. Mm-hmm. And he started becoming a very famous children's author a little while ago. And he came and did a tour of South Africa. And he went to all the schools. And every kid at these schools is reading his books. Yeah. And it is absolutely fantastic. He's like the most successful children's author in the world right now. I mean, he must have looked at J.K. Rowling and thought, what am I doing with this TV nonsense? Yeah. I need to write one of those. And he has. He's written brilliant, brilliant books.
And now we've just spoken to the next best.
And we've just spoken to the up-and-coming next biggest one.
With books translated to French.
And they're in French.
I'm hoping. Are
No,
have you
hopefully,
had any
one day.
We'll get
translated?
there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
One
it,
day.
Kelly.
We are trying to get my guy to translate them, and then one day the dream is to have them in every language, because that's what we want. We want
Yeah.
kids to be inspired, and we want them
Awesome.
to have magic in their eyes.
Yes.
And we say the stories are a great way to give hope and change humanity at the moment, and inspire through stories. And so that's the goal. That's the goal,
Yeah.
to make kids and parents happy, and to start conversations. And
I absolutely love it. Well done. Nice to talk to you this morning.
thank you very much. It was
Okay.
lovely talking to you guys.
Cheers, Kelly. Very good.
Sure.
Love it.
Secretly, I actually read a lot of kids' books as well, especially when I'm just
Why
like
secretly
feeling bad.
embarrassed?
No, because then people are like, "Say, what are you reading right now?"
And you're like,
and then
kids'
people are
books.
naming big things,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm actually reading kids' books, and that's because my children are avid readers, particularly my youngest, my daughter. So she takes part in reading balls because she will fly through books, and you literally be like, "There's no way I gave you a book this thick and you finished it now."
And she
So you will
has.
take the book and you'll quiz her, because I'll be like, "Did you read, or
Uh-huh.
did you just fly through to prove that you can read fast?" And when you quiz her on these things, man, she has read the dang thing.
So middle child's going to be a footballer.
Yeah.
Your youngest is a genius.
My youngest one will
Bonsu?
probably end up. No, Bonsu's the firstborn. Last
So
born
nothing.
might end up in Korea. No, Bonsu's the one who'll be the what scientist there.
Oh, okay, so they're all
with
brilliant.
all the accolades. Last born is the one who she's brilliant,
Yeah.
but I feel like she's gonna find her Korean man, who she's gonna groom into a K-pop star,
But they have beautiful
and
children.
then I'll never
huh?
see it. They will have beautiful. Oh
Yes,
my gosh,
that could be such a hot combo.
Afro-Asian mix.
Where you get those like huge differences.
Ish.
It's like I met someone once who is half Norwegian, half Japanese.
Oof.
I was like,
Ooh, the skin and the
wow.
leanness and the
She
cheekbones.
was almost alien. She was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
It's insane.
I'm telling you, man, if I was, in fact, if I was like a hoe, I would.
If I was a hoe.
hoe.
Okay.
Like I think I would be sampling these
Different
mixes,
and creating children.
especially I know
Because I've always
I don't
had
want
this.
to make them.
I've had this idea, and when I say it, people look at me like I'm a monster.
You wanted to make
So-
mixed babies.
No, I wanted to have like 5 different kids with 5 very, very different women, like from all different parts of the world or whatever, and then make them compete and only keep the one that wins, and the other 4
So the
other
judgment,
4 go to the
judgment comes
orphanage.
there. Yeah, the
What do you
judgment
think?
comes there. It's you lose me there.
Oh,
Let them go back to their mothers. Don't send them to the orphanage. Let the winning one come to you.
the winning one comes to me. The other 4 straight to the orphanage.
Oh. But you must understand, when I get it, you talk about these beautiful mixes, like
Oh, that's some. Isn't it amazing how humans we can be?
I've seen beautiful people.
I mean, there's just something about like those contrasts that interests me. The Senegalese are very dark, right? And then you get those very, very like milky kind of either Scandinavians or Asians, and you kind of want to see what happens.
See what happens.
You know what I mean? It's like experimenting. You take the extremes, you put them together. I mean, that's why people say Brazilians are so beautiful, because they're also a mix of like completely different gene pools.
But that's also why South Africans are so beautiful.
I think we are.
such
I
a
think we
mix.
are.
Like when I'm in Cape Town, man, my eyes are always happy. Like there's so much to see, and we're like, ooh, I wonder what you
In
are.
summer, because in winter, no one does anything in Cape Town. You're talking about.
But I find like this obsession with what are you is very. Is it very South African that people are like, what are you? Or is
But
it
I don't
international?
find it's a bad thing.
No, yeah.
I like
It's
it because
a
people
fascination.
they're genuinely interested
Yeah,
in you.
like what are you?
Like, how did you end up
Yeah.
like in the family you're in? What kind of lineage do you have?
Yeah,
It's like they want to just dig a little bit deeper because they're
It's like
genuinely
you're giving
fascinated
Malay,
with you.
meets
Yeah.
colored, meets
Yeah.
white, meets did
Yeah.
you go to China? You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
it's always
Genghis Cliff says Bitcoin Boot. Because Genghis Khan. I think it's 1 in every 4 people on earth is descended from him because he had so many women,
Yes,
but mostly against their will. Genghis Khan. Yeah. So I think it's one in every 4 or 5
Why did
people
you have
on
to add
Earth.
that, man?
No, because he was a fucking warlord. Okay. He had hey, James, where's my bag? I've got the most brilliant game. It's called Dictator Trumps.
Yeah.
It's got all these terrible people. Yeah, just go and grab it
Now
quickly.
we all have
I'll show it to
this
me.
trauma to undo from all our DNA.
From Genghis
all the way
Khan. Yeah,
back
and
to
I'm telling
Genghis,
you,
what's his
all the way to
face?
Genghis Khan.
Yes.
Warlord. He used to go into towns and make a pyramid out of all the skulls.
Ooh.
So he was a vicious
So
son
that
of a
thing is
bitch.
for real.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
He
fascinating.
was a terrible
and
son of a
dark
bitch.
as F.
But apparently, almost all of us are descended from him, whether we like it or not.
Dang. That's
But also when you meet someone who's black but they're light skinned, sometimes you wonder, like, is it a light skinned black person, or is it a light skinned black person who has a white ancestor?
yes,
somewhere?
like people with long hair this long, and you're lying, you bought that hair. And she's like, it's in my scalp. I drew it. Like, and you're like, but why? Are you mixed? And they're like, no, we're all black at home. You're like, yeah, but your hair cannot be
Just
like
pass
that.
it to me here.
So I get what you're saying. Like,
Find this thing.
yeah, it is a curious thing. I mean, my sister has hazel eyes.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Apparently that's very rare.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like,
So-
but she was bullied when she was in school because they used to call her a cat.
Okay, so these are like dictator Trumps. So what you have is there's Hitler, for example.
So this is like top trumps that you play
Exactly.
with the Transformers. And
So you
stuff,
got reign of Hitler 11 years, invasions 29. So that would be a good one to go on. Death toll 17 million, wealth 800 million at the time, and children 0. So you don't want to go with children. Okay, so let's just split these in the middle, and then you take one, and we just play for a little bit. I think this will be hilarious. What else you got to do?
Let's see
You gonna
who
run?
wins.
Okay. Let's just do this quickly and see how we do. We'll just play with a few. All right.
So
cool.
which one trumps which one on
Yeah,
one?
so
On
just grab
evil
yours.
or on-
Okay, so first card, I'm going to go reign 62 years. That's pretty strong.
That's hectic.
Do I win?
62 years.
Yeah, I've got
you win.
62
I'm on
years.
27.
What do you got?
I've got 27 years. Mao Zedong.
Mao Zedong, I've got Hirohito. So thank you. I'll take it. All right. Now, we've got 2 billion in wealth.
I win.
Oh,
500 billion.
shit. Who you got?
Genghis Khan.
Ah, shit. Okay. I knew you'd get Genghis Khan. Just look at how many kids.
1,000 plus.
Well, because we don't know.
Yes, Dad.
That's only the first generation, right?
But he was also very healthy, clearly.
Okay, you can go next.
Let's go. I'm going to lose on everything here. Death toll 2 million. You can talk.
Oh, you win.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got Robespierre, only 40,000. Who have you got?
I've got Pol Pot.
Oh, Pol Pot. Good one.
Them Asian folk are hectic.
Yeah, everybody thinks all the bad
No offense
people
to
came
the
from
Asians
Europe.
on the thing. I'm just saying.
All right.
Yeah, but this is Asian. It was Asian on Asian crime.
Well, do we forgive Shaga? This is a very deep conversation. Have you been watching Shaga Ilembe? Do we forgive him? Do we forgive Shaga? This is a very important question to me.
I don't want my people to cancel me. I will not have this conversation with you. I refuse.
All right, go. What's yours?
Let's go on death toll.
Ooh, I got 50,000.
I got 6.5 million.
Shit, you win.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Okay, you win Muammar Gaddafi. Look at that picture of him.
Well, I mean, okay, he was a dictator.
He was a dictator.
No, but you see, sometimes I think politically, some of these things, because sometimes there's this whole us against America thing.
Uh-huh.
So you start to side with, even if it's a dictator, but because it's in versus America thing, then you're on the dictator side. And then on his own, you're like, actually, this is wrong.
So I think actually Genghis Khan is probably the strongest card in that deck.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Caligula, Nicolae Ceausescu.
Ivan the Fourth.
Here's Said Barre from Somalia.
Is Idi Amin there?
Yeah, Idi Amin's here.
How many did Idi Amin kill?
Let's find him. Idi Amin. Idi Amin Dada.
way.
300,000.
Dada. Hey, Big Dada was hectic.
300,000, invasion 0, reign 8 years. He made $1 billion in his lifetime. And he had
Jesus.
43 children.
Yeah.
43.
You know, sometimes I wonder, like when you're on that level of evil and these war parts and whatever, when do you have time to pump? Like when do you get it hard? Because I feel like you are kind of getting your satisfaction from all of this you're doing. So when are you pumping? It's the thing I'm trying to understand, because I feel like there's so much going on with you. How are you?
It's a funny thing. It's like someone just said, now, isn't Jacob Zuma in there? No, he's not a dictator.
He's not a dictator.
He was
man.
democratically elected.
Yes. And
Anyway.
considered just a dick by some, not a
But
dictator.
I mean, he had time for pumping.
Plenty. But I mean, it's his virility. I don't blame him. I mean, I used to listen to that man when he spoke Zulu, and I was like, I understand. Sometimes I would get confused and go,
No, charming.
Uncle,
Yeah.
what just happened? You know what I mean? Like he has a charm I cannot
Uncle.
explain. Hey, Uncle would sometimes confuse me a little bit, you know. But
No. He had an incredible, still does, an incredible ability to charm anybody.
you
I've
either
met
hate
him.
him or you love him.
I've
There's no
met
in
him
between.
3 or 4 times, and he's charming.
As heck.
Like, honestly, you could hate him, and I could put all these people in the comments section who say, Jacob Zuma.
Yeah.
And all those people in the ANC who blame him for everything,
Yeah.
even though they were there at the same time.
Yeah.
I want to
they benefited.
put those people in a room with him. They don't have the charm he has.
Yeah.
It's like Bill Clinton. You know, when I met Bill
Yeah.
Clinton, he grabs your hand like this.
Eh.
He goes, how are you?
Eh.
Like, grabs your arm up here,
Eh.
and looks you in the eyes.
Eh.
Like, you're the only person he wants to talk to at that moment. Same with Jacob Zuma.
Yeah.
They make such an effort with you. They're like, they are good at this. So when he's talking to you, even though there's all of this going on around him, he's like, and tell me about your family. Right? He's very good at that shit. Watch out for these politicians.
There was a time I wished for once he would just go Dolo Dombazan, just so I can hear what it sounds like when it comes from his mouth. Yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about? We are digressing here when the people are watching.
No, but I mean, you were asking about these
Raven wants this
dictators.
game. Sorry, Raven wants this game.
Oh, the game is called
Dictator
Trumps.
Where do you
Looks
get
like
it?
this.
Online?
Someone gave it to me as a Christmas present last year. There it is. I'm not going to do card tricks now. You know, when someone holds something like this, always assume we had a magician in here the other day, a mentalist.
Oh.
Yeah. He pulled some tricks on Simpiwe.
Oh.
She was not pleased.
Yeah, even me, it makes me
Feels like
uncomfortable.
magic.
Do you know I once fell in public because of these damn mentalist people?
What happened?
You know how they can, like, they'll ask you what's your biggest fear and then they make it appear in front of you. So this guy asks, and I'm not buying into this nonsense, and we're sitting at a restaurant in Melville, and a spider pops up on my hand. I have serious arachnophobia.
Yet.
I literally fell off my chair, fell so hard.
That's not
because
cool.
it's a proper
But
fear.
they shouldn't do that.
Yeah, bruh. It messed me up so badly.
I had a spider as big as my hand in my kitchen the other day.
Thanks.
I took a picture of it and posted it on Instagram, and people like freaked out. I'm not so scared of those things, but the dog was going to eat it, and I was like, "That's not a good idea."
Oh my god!
Mhm.
Like you see,
It's a rain spider.
This is the one thing that I like Australia when I visit.
Oh, but I
refuse to go.
They
The
have
huntsman.
terrible insects.
The huntsman. Yay! Guys, if you want to kill me, if there's an enemy out there who's going, how do I kill it? Just put me in a room.
Find a picture of that huntsman spider quickly for us, guys. See if
Because
you can find a picture.
my house in the States, right, has these spiders called the yellowback spider.
Oof,
Bruh.
sounds horrible.
The cobweb looks like a net. I was like, number one, how
Like
big
you
are
could
you?
get
Number
caught
two,
in it.
what are you trying to catch?
You could get
Yeah,
caught
I'm
in
like,
it.
what are you trying to try? You need an
Human
insect.
baby.
An insect doesn't need, it's an insect. Why do you need to occupy a territory for an insect?
What are they called? Yellowbacks.
Yellowbacks.
Yes,
Yo!
yes.
I'm actually making myself sick. Please just change the topic.
I just want to see what this huntsman looks like.
Okay,
Is that
but
the worst
if you're going
one?
to put it up, yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
the
you don't have
biggest
to look.
one.
I just want to see.
Oh,
Guys, you got it?
oh. I'm
All
making
right,
myself
cool.
sick.
Do me look away.
No, it's good. Yeah. Yo. What
Oh,
are we even
sweet.
talking about
Okay, take
this?
it down. That's cool. All right, take it away. Take it away. We don't need that. Listen, I've had lots of fun with you this morning.
Even me. I'm sorry. I'm really not my usual smart self.
What are you talking about?
And it's funny with accents. You know, I get into cuck for accents. I did a corporate one.
time.
I did a corporate, and we're playing around, whatever. The client. is not aware I'm on comms, even me. So I'm hearing. And she's going, that accent is going to offend people. I'm like, the F, man. Do you not see my color right now? Because she was like, why is she putting on that accent? How am
What? So when you do that, she got upset with that. She thought it was going to upset
And I'm like,
other
but
people.
I'm black and I'm speaking a black accent and you find it offensive. Njani. And it's not the first time. I'm like, but what do you want from me, guys? I speak like this. It's like I'm trying to be something else. I speak like this. Who do I think I am?
Yeah, no,
I
come
speak
on.
like this. What
Get
am I
over
doing?
get over
Man,
yourself.
people must
It's such
can we
but
just
that's also, I think that era is over. Thank God. People must realize, like, there's this article in the New York Times of all places, which is like the most left wing of all papers, right?
Yeah.
New York Times saying woke is dead.
It must
And
die.
we don't even need to be upset about it. Let's
Yes.
move on. Let's get back to a point where we can laugh and have fun
Please.
and not take each other so seriously.
Somebody.
And if their biggest thing is to be offended, let them go and do it somewhere else.
And stop being thieves. If I didn't offer you offense, you stole it.
There we go.
Now take offense. Who offered you? But I was laughing. My daughter last thing. So my 10-year-old still speaks in a very South African accent, more South African than when she was here. Okay,
Okay.
they've been doing this.
Oh, really?
I've told you this before. They've been doing this thing where they get to America and they were like, "We are as South African as they come." Right? Now we're on when she's with her friends. She's
So
got
the
a crew.
opposite of Thibaut Touch.
Bruh. But when she's with her crew, I realized she has the perfect quintessential Atlanta accent, right? You
Really?
can place her. Anyway, I let it go. I'm like, of course, she needs to survive. I don't know, top of my mind, what this is called. I'm just like, oh, I see she's making sure she knows where she is. Grandpa calls. She's speaking to him in that accent. And Grandpa says, oh, don't they make fun of your accent at school? Because he picked up that it's thicker than
here.
Than here. And he went, no, Grandpa, I code switch.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey. You know, when I'm like, let the children raise themselves.
That's awesome.
I code switch. I was like, oh, it's code switching, my baby. Let me write that down. 8 hours today. Yes,
That is so that's
when
so
I learned
smart.
that it's called code switching.
Very clever.
That child,
I'm very impressed.
she must fetch me many cows. I'm keeping receipts. I've got a file of the money I'm spending on this child. The man who comes and says, I want your child's hand in marriage, I will say, my son, you're welcome.
Many.
Here is a file. Give me what you feel is fair. This, just you and your conscience speak to what's in the file.
We're talking 6 figures at least.
Listen, we can do a payment plan. I am telling you. I
love you, Tumi.
love you,
Thanks for
Gareth.
coming, babe.
Thanks for having me. Have me
So
more,
nice.
man. I like
So
talking
nice to see
you.
you. This has been so much fun. It doesn't even feel like 2 hours. It feels like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will see you not tomorrow, Friday. But there is a burning platform tomorrow with me and Tumi Morake on the podcast party. Friday, we're back here. Gareth Cliff Show right here on the Real Network. And there's plenty of other good stuff, including tomorrow on The Bounce. And Warris's show with PH, of course, the Shady Podcast, plus some other new shows. If you haven't watched Let's Talk Man yet, you need to get onto that one too. The doctors talking about all the stuff that you wish doctors would talk about. It's all happening.